Good morning, Desert Sands Unified School District and Desert Sands Educational Foundation followers. This is Sean Webb. I'm your Director of Community Engagement and the Director of the Desert Sands Educational Foundation. Welcome to Classroom Conversations, where we engage the Desert Sands Unified School District community. You can see I'm in a different spot today. I'll kind of span the camera around here. I'm in the merchandise store for Desert Sands Unified School District and the foundation. We're on location at Luna Inc., and I'll give a little bit more details about that in a second. But as you're aware, with Classroom Conversations, we engage our community and we support our community partners. As you're aware, our mission statement: the Desert Sands Educational Foundation secures funding and awards money to provide supplemental resources that enrich and enhance student learning in Desert Sands Unified School District. And with that, our vision statement, I'm not going to read that in full, but I'll tell you, with our mission statement and our vision statement, we do this in partnership with community partners and so forth. And as I said, I'm on location. I'm at Luna Inc. today, and I want to make sure that we have the owner come on with us and give him every minute that we can, because we're on his time right now. But with us, as usual, I have Chef Mary Trimmins with me.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Chef Mary. How are you?
Doing well. Good.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm going to bring him on screen immediately. We have the owner of Luna Inc., the new owner of Luna Inc., David Conover. How you doing, David?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for having me.
Hey, good morning.
Excellent.
Good morning.
So I kind of gave a little brief intro. With Classroom Conversations, we support our community partners that support us, and we're here with David at Luna Inc. And I'm just going to get right to it. David, you're the owner here. Tell us what just happened recently with you.
Yeah, so at the end of June, I actually took over Luna Inc. as sole owner. I was part of the original staff here that helped launch Luna Inc.
Okay.
And now I'm the 100% full owner. So it's been exciting. It's a crazy time for everybody, but it's been a wonderful experience so far.
Okay, so one question that Chef Mary and I have been asking every one of our guests. Mary, the question is, how's life been since March 13th?
Exactly.
So I want to ask that. And then you just explained how it's been since late June. So how was it between March and June there? What made you decide to buy a business during the pandemic?
Yeah, a little crazy, right? So we were actually closed for a couple months. We were deemed non-essential to begin with. And then once I took over, we tried to find a way to become essential. And by making masks, we were able to become an essential business. So we've actually been making a lot of masks to provide PPE for a lot of the local businesses, schools, and whatnot.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad you guys were able to pivot and transition that way.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing everybody's having to do right now is just pivot and be able to adapt, because obviously what was 15 days is now looking more like 15 months maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, Mary, you should know this, that with CamFest, ever since year one, I believe, so 4 years ago when they had the first CamFest, Luna Inc. was an early partner of CamFest, where they helped supply some of the staff shirts, the lanyards, and different things that we have. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and put this on screen here. With Desert Sands Educational Foundation, we have launched an online store. And with that, it directly works with Luna Inc. And if you see at the top here, Mary, it's pretty cool. 125 raised. So we just launched the store. What, David? Just a week and a half ago, I want to say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a week exactly, almost. Yeah.
Well, that's incredible.
And with that, you can go directly through our website and order things here. And they've got everything from ball caps in multiple colors to. Why don't you tell us what's going on here, David?
Yeah, so we've got a wide range of items, and with each sale, a portion of that purchase does go to the foundation, which is it's a great way to help raise some funds, get the brand awareness out there as well too. So, like you said, there's a lot of different options there. But if somebody does have something that they're wanting or needing and don't see on the site, my contact is on the bottom of that page, and they can reach out to me directly, and we'll make it happen for you.
I love it. And one thing I'll share is that eventually I'm going to be having the masks directly where people can purchase them right at the district office for myself, Mary.
Oh, that would be good.
Cool. Yeah. So Mary, I want to offer you here. I told David that I was going to treat you. I want you to select a shirt.
Ooh.
So you don't have to do it live now, but I'll send you the link to the website. But I
Okay.
want you to select one of those, and I will definitely take care of it. And I'll make sure that we can get some foundation logo material on there as well, because I know that's a goal too, David. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have items up there with the foundation logo as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what I found interesting, David, which I saw that one of the district masks actually has the logo on the letters on it, is often when you go somewhere anymore, you can't really tell the staff from the visitors or buyers or guests or whatever. Like at Summit, we have them that say Snow Summit on it, because that's the only thing that's identifying us anymore from the general population. And I think that's good, so that when someone goes into school, they'll see a Desert Sands person because they'll be wearing a mask or a member of that community. That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. They look nice too.
Oh, I've seen the masks, and I'll be the first to say that Mr. Bailey wears one daily, and he wears it around the district office, and they look very comfortable. He has both the black and the white ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But David, in addition to Luna Inc., tell me what else is going on. I'm looking at a sign here. It says Desert for Baggers, and then I noticed your shirt says that. Can you explain what Desert for Baggers is?
Yeah, so Desert for Beggars is a nonprofit that myself and Austin Beneteau started almost exactly a year ago, which is crazy to think how much has happened in about a year. It is a cornhole league that we play at Murph's Gaslight, and all of the funds go to local charities, whether it be Boys and Girls Club or we've actually donated over $20,000 already.
Oh wow!
In under a year, with just getting the community together, playing some cornhole, and having a good time. It's really been amazing to see how much it's grown. It's crazy.
And Mary, I'll even share that before the pandemic, the Desert Sands Educational Foundation teamed up with AMP. We're going to be holding an event, and we were recipients of a grant. We formally didn't get to the check, presentation and so forth, but we wrote for the grant, and we were recipients of it. So I look forward to when we get to have that event, and we can use those funds.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But no,
that was something we're very excited to help with. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
David, what is the Luna Link? How did the name come into play?
So Luna Inc. Actually, we went through a few hundred names. It's actually named after one of the ex-employees' dogs. The dog's name was Luna. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And we went through a bunch, and we liked Luna, and then the ink part is actually from my wife. We were going to do Incorporated, and she thought, no, we should do it ink, as in like screen printing ink. So
Okay.
so that's why it's INK instead of INC.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a great name. It's got a little zing to it. What it's kind of like.
And it's funny, Mary, how I didn't even know it until this last year when I got involved with the foundation and so forth. Luna Inc. has actually been in my life for quite some time. As you know, Mary, I volunteer for the American Cancer Society, and one of the people that they supplied products for, hats, shirts, whatever it may be, for the golf tournament over the last couple of years, has come through Luna Inc. And I had no clue that was even happening.
Yep, and they were actually a recipient from Desert for Beggars as well too.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, David, is your shop kind of a walk-in? Can people walk in, or is it mostly online or phone?
Right now we do a lot of it, obviously, because of the pandemic. We've been doing it a lot online through email, but absolutely, if anybody wants to walk in, they're more than welcome to walk in and take a look at some of the samples, and we can show them some different products, some different options, and figure out what's best for them.
And I'm just showing some of the products here that they have. One of the things they did for me, Mary, is, I love going to Comic-Con every year.
Yes.
And one of the things they did for me, for my niece and nephew. So I got a special comic book cover made for my brother for his 40th birthday. And I paid an artist in Artist Alley to do so. And then the guys over here were fantastic. They actually took it, and I want to point to one that if you could see, like this gentleman here, and the print here on aluminum, or is it metal or what? I don't even know what the product is.
No, you're right, aluminum, correct.
You printed on aluminum, so both the kids now have it of their dad, and it's like it was for his 40th, and he was like super dad and so forth. But now they both have it, and it's not a comic book, but it's actually something they could have on their wall, and it looks beautiful. It doesn't need to be framed or anything. It just looks perfect. Like we have a ton of prints on metal in our house, and now knowing that you guys do this type of stuff, I'm gonna, rather than going to the website that I've been using, you know, who knows where that, that metal and stuff is coming from. At least I know this is coming from a shop in Palm Desert.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Look forward to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, David, I don't want to take all your time this morning, but I do want to give you the opportunity. Is there a message to the Desert Sands community you'd like to share from Luna Inc.?
Really, here we are. Part of the reason we launched this company was to be involved in the community, and we appreciate every chance we can to be a part of that community. And like I said, if there's anybody needs anything in the community or has any wants or needs, I'd love to sit and talk to them about making that happen. So
That is just awesome. Well, David, thank you very much for taking the time, and thank you for letting me take up your front merchandise part of your store here to host Mary and I. And well, I know that you got a ton of shirts to do, and Desert Sands community, please come to the website. Heck, Coachella Valley community, anybody watching this, go to the Desert Sands Education Foundation website, support our online store, support somebody local with David, and support the foundation. And and you get a great product. Heck, I'm wearing one today. So, David, thank you again. You have a great day.
David, have a great day.
Bye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That's
So,
awesome.
you got to meet another member of our community here, Mary. Look at this, another connection with us.
I know my mind is racing about things that I need. You know how that goes. You start seeing these things and to know where the resources are, because we're so used to just looking at a blanket advertisement and then thinking, well, this is the way to go. But if we can support our own community and our own people, that is pretty awesome. Because it looks like he has like cups and shirts and signs and
anything that you could put a print on, he could do. Here, I want to pull up the website again here. So he has all these different things, from backpacks, messenger bags, those things, just for the Desert Sands merchandise store, which is fantastic. But as I look around the room here, he's got anything from the cornhole tables to the, I'm going to go ahead and, this is kind of cool, that just like personalized pieces like this that you can have for coasters.
Oh,
I'm sure he could take any picture and do this kind of stuff. And then I look at these different types of graphic prints. Like this looks like somebody's wedding photo, but it's on a beautiful stone that this is going to last for, just a long time. And like behind me, here's a beautiful clock. It looks like of a beautiful home in Palm Springs. So there's anything that he could have a flat surface to, it looks like he could print on, which is really cool. One of the things I used to do every year, not every year, but a lot of the times, is I would have, I was going to say this is like a mouse pad, but now that I look at it, this is for somebody who plays softball, and this is like their thing that they sit on, right? But they can personalize. It can personalize just about anything, which is really cool. Like I see cell phone things, I see little koozies for cans, I see ornaments. So anything that has a flat surface, he basically can personalize for people, which is really cool.
So his office is in the desert or in Desert Hot Springs?
So no, his office is in Palm Desert. I'm here off of Beacon Hill, over off of Cook and so forth in the industrial plaza here. One of his neighbors over next door is a lighting company. Another one on the other side is a construction company. So he's right here in the mix of things, but he's got a nice little storefront that I kind of showed around, and then he's got his workspace in the back.
And what hours is the store there?
Yes, I see that in the window right here. Luckily, I could see it. It's from 9 to 5. And I know David will be here anytime that you want to make an appointment. He's very flexible with that too. But like I said, he's been fantastic. He's been a great partner. And Luna Inc. has been a great partner of the Desert Sands Educational Foundation. Like I said, they helped us launch our merchandise store, which you see here with and so forth. But as well as just being a partner of CAMFest over the years, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's nice to see these young people. Because he is a young person, as I'm an old person.
Oh no, you're not, Mary. Who are you kidding?
Involved in the community at that level, and to understand how important it is, and just the financial struggles that you have, raising funds for different events and different things, and the amount of work. I mean, because you and I both know how much work has been involved in some of our fundraising campaigns that we've done over the years. It's months and months and months. And then if you have several going on, they're overlapping each other and trying to keep all the balls in the air to make them all work and to get the participation level. That's always been, it's been important, but it's been a lot of work.
Right.
Especially you, because you were leading the train.
Yeah, definitely. But while I've got you here, Mary, I want to give you a little heads up. So let's see here. Tonight, I'm going to be helping out our friends over at Page Middle School with their back to school night. We'll be hosting that. Tomorrow night, we have a Going the Distance webinar, which we're going to train all of our TK, that's transitional kindergarten. These are our youngest students, all the way through fifth grade, and their families on how to use computers and apps and so forth. So that's
Oh
going to be
my,
in the evening tomorrow night. So that should be fun. Imagine if you were, a couple of years ago, if you got to log on and take a class with Maddie on how to use just basic things from checking email to using the internet to using different apps. So
I
we're
still
going to do
could
that
use.
tonight. You can call me anytime you want, Mary. Anytime you want. That's no problem.
So is there anything new on the school front? Anything new and exciting happening, or any updates, or is everything sort of status quo for a while?
Well, I want to go ahead and show some of our social media updates as we do. Let me go ahead and bring this on the screen here. Hold on. Got to pick the right screen here. You figure I've been doing this, what is this, our 12th month almost?
Yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah,
Just
years.
kidding. But so, as I always do, Mary, I want to highlight our Desert Sands social media. This is what we got going on Twitter. We just retweeted this morning about information about National Preparedness Month. One thing that Desert Sands has that everybody, I'm sure, is aware of, but each of our schools have emergency bins and so forth. So, and they have emergency plans that we have to run through the county. They run through the district, the county, and the state level and so forth that we have to turn in. But this is National Preparedness Month. I'm not sure about you, Mary, but I made sure that our emergency kit was well put together. I'm one of those
Yeah.
guys that actually, when I built built-in window for our a sit-in window in our house, I actually built the bottom storage just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to say, being a part of Desert Sands, kind of, I did that because I was in charge of the disaster preparedness at the school sites I was at for years. But take a look at this. So Shad Powers, he's a reporter in the Desert Sun, and we retweeted this because there was a challenge at the Riverside County Art Museum. I'm sorry, not Riverside County Art, but Riverside County Office of Ed, as well as there was some. This was the Getty Museum Challenge, where you were going to act out a photo or a great picture in history. So take a
Oh,
look at this. So there's that young lady there.
oh my God.
Okay, and this is the photo that she's mimicking.
Oh, that is incredible.
Okay, so take a look at this one. Here's this one here.
Oh my God.
Okay, and she was actually highlighted in
Oh,
in a national format in her photos.
Oh my God,
So
he's
that's
got he has a pageant of the masters going.
yeah, that's a student at Indio High School. So
I
it's
love
kind of
that.
some famous work of art. So pretty cool. So
Yeah.
obviously, that we had no school yesterday. But this is something Dan talked about it, and I want to make sure to really highlight it here. The grab and go meals up until December 31st from
Yeah.
7 to 9:30 at every one of our sites, all 32 of them. Starting tomorrow, they can come grab them. And I'm actually going to be at one of the sites to kind of highlight what's going on there. But that starts up again tomorrow. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's a huge undertaking for that nutrition team. Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, Madison started school today.
Oh, okay. How'd that go?
So Dana, well, she's at home. She's at home.
Okay.
So they had her get up and get dressed as if she was going to school, and they took her. You would take the annual picture out front the front door with her backpack and all of her stuff. But she said, "I'm not wearing any shoes." And I thought, I haven't worn any shoes since March. It's like, have you worn shoes lately? I mean, like you wear around the house, you had flip flops or barefoot.
So in the house, I do have a pair of shoes that I wear in the house and so forth because I'm chasing after Brooklyn all the place. But one thing I'll take pride in is I've really gotten used out of cargo shorts during this whole time.
Yeah.
And the reason why is, you get, well, anytime I'm going somewhere, I have all my technology with me. So I got my cell phone in one pocket with my headphones, right? So that's one pocket. Then I have my wallet in another pocket, my keys in another. And then, you have to have a mask nowadays. So I got that in another pocket. And I got a bottle of disinfectant. What else do you? Yeah, and my keys. So yeah, that's all my pockets. So I have to wear cargo shorts all the time.
Yeah. I find that I have like mask in my pocket, like an extra one, have them in my purse, have them in the car. Have them in the glove box in case I forget one or whatever. Because it's like it becomes, and now I'm deciding which one do I really want to wear. But I tell you, the one that I've really kind of liked is my friends that work for Southwest. And when it first came out, they had like a disposable one. And that is really a comfortable one to wear. It's just solid white. But like with your mask for the school, I think it is kind of cool that you can walk in and you actually see a person that you know that they're part of the system.
Yeah, definitely. And the masks that he has of the school they're very breathable too, so that's
Yeah.
nice as well. That that's the biggest thing that one of the reasons why I use the paper masks over there. They're very breathable.
Yeah, I
which is definitely helpful.
actually painted a happy face on mine.
Too funny. Well, there is one more thing that we retweeted that I want to share that I think is really awesome that the Riverside County Office of Education is doing. Let me pull this up on screen here. What they're doing is they're asking students to be creative. So they're asking for public service announcements videos where they're either, wearing a face covering, keeping 6 feet of distance, or washing your hands regularly. They're asking our students to be creative to make a public service announcement.
Oh,
Because
cool.
as I've learned with doing that video with Stefan, there's a lot you can do just with your cell phone. Where
Yeah.
you could just create these videos, and they're made for high definition and so forth, so that they can be shared in multiple formats. So I think that's really cool that the Riverside County Office of Education is doing this. And what they'll end up doing, Mary, is that they'll probably get a bunch of submissions, and then they're going to highlight the students, and they'll push it on in all of their formats. So not only is it going to make it, we're highlighting the great work that this young lady or young man is doing, but we're going to highlight their talents. And that's just the best part. And you know what?
Yeah.
Just like we're going to try and help Stefan in his career and connections and network and so forth. This will do the same thing for whoever that student is as well. Just
Well,
a different format of it.
a task.
Yeah.
To do things, because after a while you sort of run out of your own ideas, and you can only do so many dancing and whatever. But this to throw out an idea, to let them be creative, and then to actually have it be seen or displayed, or even win some sort of an award for it. That's awesome.
I'll tell you, when I was in school and I took some journalism class and so forth, and all the things that everybody wanted to do, as well as some English classes where they want to be published. Well, being published nowadays is a different type.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I want to say that I want to say a version of being published, and this is my opinion. Maybe I shouldn't be sharing this, but this is my opinion on being published nowadays. Like, I think being published nowadays is when you're being pushed out by a large social media format, like Riverside County Office of Ed. They have tens of thousands of followers. I want to say that's as close as you can be published, because nowadays when you're published, right, you put out on the social media, boom, you could see it here. Whereas in the old days, when I was going to school, when your son was going to school, and so forth, they want to be published. You were on a format, but somebody has to actually physically pick up that book and read it. Pick up
Exactly.
that magazine and read it. Open that newspaper and read it. Whereas nowadays it's a little bit more instantaneous. Yeah.
Well, I had my first online training class the other day.
Okay.
So I got to realize what it's like to be in front of your computer all day long, and I can honestly say it was not fun. The AARP has an 8-hour senior driving class.
Okay.
And it's not mandatory, but it kind of gets you through some insurance issues and DMV. So I thought, what the heck, I'll just take it. So you can take it at your own leisure. And I started, and it really is 8 hours. And it's video and questions, and they really don't have a test at the end, because I don't normally like tests. But after about the 3rd hour, I was skipping through things, and it kind of wanted to skip through things. And then I would go get coffee, and I would come back. And it took me 2 days.
Okay. Well,
2 days.
Well, the beautiful thing, like what Madison will be going through and all the students that, our teachers been sharing, is there's synchronous and asynchronous learning. I know that you had the ability to spread it out and so forth, but, I'm sure Madison is going to be going into classrooms that are like maybe 50-minute time blocks where there's going to be time where they're interacting like this nonstop with other students and so forth. But then there's also going to be a time where their screen might be black here, like for example, where there might be a time where the teacher may have a little dark screen where they are just available for those students, but they're not interacting 100%, just like Madison may not be interacting 100% during that whole time. So I know that with the 8-hour course that AARP did, they may not have the best instructors over there compared to what we have here at Desert Sands.
There was no interacting, and I think
okay, yeah, that's part of it too.
That probably would have been, it probably would have been a little more interesting. I mean, some of the things you already kind of know, but it was good to have some things reinforced,
Of course.
and brought back to your mind again, and things that you just go, oh yeah, that kind of does it every now and again.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those inline instructional things, even though people kind of don't want to do them or whatever, I just found it very informative, and I came away feeling
Mhm.
really good that I took the time. So our kids, when they take the time to stay online with the teacher, and at the end of the day, I think it's a nice little reward that they stayed with the class,
Of course.
participated, and then they're done for the day, and they're done for the day. Then they get ready to go tomorrow. So that's sort of like my message out to these kids is, it may be not your cup of tea or the best thing you want to do, but at the end of the day, your class is over. You've got the work accomplished. You're home. You can go play with your friends, and then you're fresh for the next day again. And then
Right.
you have something new that you know about, which is kind of cool. I think the same for the teachers, knowing that their students are staying with them and participating. It's kind of, I think it's working out quite well, actually.
Oh no, that's great, and I'm sure just like your granddaughter's school district has it and so forth. I do want to highlight one more thing with our website. I just got some info here sent. I gotta love my communications team. Jan and Mary.
Oh, yeah.
They're very good with making sure that I share out all the pertinent information and so forth. But I want to pull this up. As we talk about different resources and things that students are going through, there's also things that parents are going through right now. We have an amazing parent resource page. And let me get this up on our screen here, Mary. Give me 1 second. I thought I was done with sharing screen, so sorry about that. But we have a great parent resource section. And with that being said, it allows for many different resources to be there. So when I say that, here, let me just pull it up so you can see it itself. So it's right here at the top bar where you can click over. There's anything from childcare resources to social emotional wellness. These are all the quick links on our website. Student transfers, employee recognition, just all the different things that we have. But I want to get to the portion here for example, just to give an example, like childcare resources. Okay, we have many families right now that are. I'll flat out say, Mary, it's difficult with childcare right now.
Oh, sure. I can imagine.
And one of the things that we're able to do is we have partnered with the Riverside County Office of Education has a website up here, County Care Resources, as well as daycare facilities within Desert Sands, and it goes into all the different things that we have for the resources. As well as, let's go to, I've highlighted this a lot, and I want to highlight it again, social emotional wellness. These are all different things that are available via Desert Sands, as well as via the community. And as you can see, this website was just updated on the 1st of September, and they continuously update this with all different types of resources. But here we go, community and parent staff resources. This is the main one where it has different things for everything from mental health, different things in the community. Now we go to parent resources here, where it takes us all these many different things that we have. So I could go on and on and on about this website. But they even got tips for parents about social media and what's going on with everything these days, cell phones and parenting, common sense and technology plans and so forth. So there's a lot of different resources that Desert Sands has for our website, not just for the students, but also for our families and communities.
Well, I think right now, Sean, it's an incredibly challenging time.
Yeah.
I mean, we've not only gone through from March, all of a sudden having their whole life shut down, and then trying to reinvent getting back into the workforce, and then our weather has popped in, and then you've got kids going back to school, and you guys in the desert have excessive heat. Now we have the fire things going on, and it's a lot I think for a parent to try to find a place to put all this on top of getting their kids to school, trying to get to work. So I think those media information is really important to know that, that there are other people having the same struggle.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
What I found out is that you talk to someone and you go, oh yeah, well, this is happening to me as well. Because I think sometimes you feel like you're alone.
Yeah.
and you really don't have anybody to share that with, but if you have a point to go to and read about it and then have a conversation, it kind of takes the load off your shoulders, I think.
Definitely. Well, Mary, I do have a 10 o'clock. It's funny. Today I've got a 10 o'clock, an 11:30, a 12:30, and then a 5 o'clock, all teaching principals how to use this format.
Oh my gosh.
So I do have to get going, but Mary, I hope that the winds shift and that the smoke stop and the fire stops so that Tara and I can come up and get to see you this weekend. If not, I'm sure there'll be another time that we'll
Yeah.
definitely be visiting with you.
Yes, well, I'm hoping the same thing because I want to go out this afternoon. I think all of our tourists have returned to their home base.
Yeah.
It was a busy weekend up here in spite of everything that was going on. But it's cooler up here, and I think people just need to get away. It's just sometimes you just have to get away and sit in your car for 2 hours in traffic.
I agree. Well, Mary, I will catch up with you. You have a great day, and I'll catch up with you later today, if not tomorrow.
Okay, see you then, Sean. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, that ends our episode for today's Classroom Conversations. As a reminder, we have our Going the Distance webinar for students and parents from TK to 5th grade that will happen tomorrow night. That'll be with the team from Ed Services and myself, where we'll be talking to different families. And anybody who has a child from transitional kindergarten through 5th grade, we encourage you to sign on and to join us. It's on our YouTube page. Please join us with your child so you can see how to learn and see how they're learning and so forth. But until then, have a great day. I will see you definitely Thursday again at 9 o'clock with Classroom Conversations. Have a good one.